Assalamu alaikum, welcome to Bidaya Screencast. Today we have lesson 7, which discusses Tanween Kaser. And the objective of this lesson is for the student to identify Tanween Kaser as well as the noise that it makes, and specifically that it goes beneath the letters. We reviewed Tanween Fatha in the previous lesson. Now Tanween Kaser has the same shape, but it's drawn underneath the letters. Also, in this lesson, as we did with Tanween Fath, the teacher can use these three boxes to explain Tanween Kasr, and it's very important that the student can connect the idea of Kasra with Tanween Kasr. We don't want the student to treat them like two separate concepts. We want them to build on their previous knowledge of Kasr and realize that Tanween Kasr is two Kasras that makes a different sound. So, for example, in this case, we will read it as Noon kasrani, Noon kasratain nin, and so forth. Ta kasrati, Ta kasratain tin. And we've included all shapes of the ta, just so the student can keep in mind the different shapes of the letters as well as the different situations where you can use Tanween Kasr. Also, in this lesson, you'll notice, as we did before, the example letter, which is Noon in this case, is used in the first word on the first line, so the student is somewhat familiar before he or she delves into the words. And usually, as the teacher, when teaching the first line, I will give the student the first two letters, for example, la ba, and I will wait for the student to respond with the letter of focus, which is Noon with Tanween Kasr. Again, as the teacher, even in a classroom setting, I provide the first two letters, la ba, and the students will repeat nin, and so forth. For the second word, I will say ama, and the students will say din, so that they can focus specifically on Tanween Kasr, and instead of struggling with the first two letters and then trying to remember Tanween Kasr as a new concept. Of course, this is for the first line, and then as we continue through the lesson, the students will get a hang of it on their own. Also, another technique for a classroom setting with this lesson is to divide the lines into different groups. For example, divide the students into groups and assign each group a line. And each group will try their best to practice their own line and present in front of the class or to test each other on this line. We also have the hand illustrations, as always, in this lesson. Kasra, as we may remember, is represented with a downward hand motion, I, and now Kasratain, or Tanween Kasr, is represented with two hands in a downward motion. Again, we want the students to connect Kasra with Kasratain because they're drawn in the same place beneath the letter, and they have the same initial sound, but we're adding a nasal sound to Tanween, in. Instead of ni, we have nin. Also, keep in mind the Bidaya workbook and the online resources provide a lot more extra practice, up to more than 40 extra words that the students can read and write. And we also have the audio online for students who are struggling with the reading. The audio has the spelling option as well as reading the words completely. And of course, the teacher can use the instructor's manual for additional tips. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum.